you ever looked at a car and realized you're staring right at the future? Not a wild, impossible concept car hidden behind velvet ropes at an auto show, but a real, everyday machine that you can actually buy and park in your own driveway. Welcome back to Crownline Reviews, everyone. Today we are looking at something that is shaking up the electric vehicle world in a very big way. This is the 2026 BYD Qin L EV, and it is making a lot of traditional car makers very nervous. Just a few years ago, if you wanted a sleek, futuristic electric sedan with incredible technology, you had to spend an absolute fortune. But the rules of the game are changing fast, and this car right here is writing the new rulebook. I want you to look closely at this machine because it represents a massive leap forward in design, technology, and everyday usability. We are going to take a deep dive into what makes this car tick, how it feels on the open road, and whether it actually makes sense for your daily life. So buckle up, grab your favorite drink, and let us explore the 2026 BYD Qin L EV together. To really understand why this car matters so much, we have to look back at where it came from. The BYD Qin family has been around for quite a while, starting out as a practical, somewhat plain plug-in hybrid. It was mostly known for being affordable, reliable, and great on gas. It was the kind of car you bought with your head, not your heart. It did the job of getting you from point A to point B without any fuss, but it rarely turned heads at a stoplight. Over the years, BYD kept refining the recipe, making the battery better, the ride smoother, and the technology smarter. But with this new 2026 Qin L EV, they have completely thrown out the old playbook. They did not just update the old model, they reimagined it from the ground up. The evolution here is staggering. It has gone from a humble commuter car to a genuine statement piece. They fixed the awkward proportions of the older generations, stretched the wheelbase for better stability, and gave it a stance that commands respect. It stays true to its heritage of offering incredible value, but now it adds a massive dose of style and desirability that the older models simply never had. Just look at it sitting there under the lights. The design team at BYD has truly outdone themselves this time. The model we have here today is finished in this stunning, pure Arctic white, and it contrasts beautifully with the deep, glossy black of the panoramic glass roof. It gives the car this incredibly sleek two-tone look that makes it seem lower and wider than it actually is. The front end is completely sealed off, which is a signature electric vehicle look, but it is not boring in the slightest. Your eyes are immediately drawn to that razor-sharp LED light bar that stretches all the way across the hood, seamlessly connecting the ultra-slim headlights. Right below that, the BYD logo is proudly illuminated, glowing with a soft, modern light. It is a face that looks confident, maybe even a little bit aggressive, especially with those sharp, angular black air intakes carved into the lower bumper, sitting just outside the clean QinL display plate. Moving down the side, the body lines are incredibly clean and smooth. You will notice the flush door handles that pop out when you approach, keeping the aerodynamics as slippery as possible. And we have to talk about these wheels. They are massive, multi-spoke alloy wheels finished in a striking mix of gloss black and machined silver. They fill the wheel arches perfectly, giving the car a very planted, athletic stance. Even the side skirts have this sharp black accent line that sweeps upward toward the rear, making the car look like it is moving fast even when it is standing completely still. It is a design that appeals to everyone, from young car enthusiasts to grandparents who just appreciate a beautiful piece of machinery. Stepping inside the Qin L EV feels like walking into a high-end modern living room. The moment you close the solid-feeling door, the outside world just fades away with a reassuring thud. BYD is focused heavily on creating a calm, relaxing environment. The cabin has that crisp, clean new car smell, mixed with the scent of premium synthetic materials. The seats are wrapped in a soft, breathable fabric that feels wonderful to the touch, and they offer fantastic support for long journeys. You sit relatively low, which gives you a great sense of connection to the car, but the visibility out over that sloping white hood is still excellent. The centerpiece of the cabin, as with most modern BYDs, is the massive central touchscreen. It is bright, incredibly responsive, and yes, it can rotate from landscape to portrait mode at the touch of a button. It sounds like a gimmick at first, but when you are using the navigation map, having a tall vertical screen is actually incredibly useful for seeing what is ahead on your route. The dashboard itself is clean and uncluttered, with soft touch materials everywhere your hands naturally fall. At night, the cabin comes alive with beautiful ambient lighting that you can customize to match your exact mood. It wraps around the doors and the dashboard, giving the interior a warm, futuristic glow. Even the back seat is a wonderful place to be. Because this is a dedicated electric platform, the floor is completely flat, meaning even the middle passenger has plenty of legroom. It is spacious, comfortable, and packed with the kind of thoughtful touches that make everyday driving an absolute joy. Now let us talk about what is hiding underneath that beautiful white exterior. Powering the 2026 Qin L EV is BYD's famous Blade battery technology. If you are not familiar with it, the Blade battery is a marvel of modern engineering. It is designed to be incredibly safe, highly efficient, and very durable over the long term. This specific model packs a battery large enough to give you an estimated range of around 400 miles on a single charge. That is enough to drive from city to city, or handle a full week of commuting without ever having to worry about finding a plug. When you do need to charge, the fast charging capability means you can go from 10% to 80% in about 30 minutes. You can literally plug it in, grab a cup of coffee, stretch your legs, and be ready to hit the road again. Performance-wise, this car is not trying to be a track day monster, but it is certainly no slouch. The electric motor delivers power instantly to the front wheels, giving you roughly 250 horsepower. Because it is electric, there is no waiting for gears to shift or an engine to rev up. You press the pedal and the car just glides forward with a smooth, effortless surge of power. It is more than enough to merge onto the highway safely or pass a slow-moving truck with complete confidence. But numbers on a screen only tell half the story. What really matters is how this car feels when you are actually driving it down your local streets. I have spent the last few days driving the Qin L EV everywhere, from tight city alleys to wide-open country highways, and I have to say it is a remarkably pleasant experience. The first thing you notice is the absolute silence. Without a gas engine rumbling away, the cabin is incredibly quiet. You can actually have a whispered conversation with your passengers at highway speeds, or listen to your favorite podcast without turning the volume all the way up. The steering wheel feels great in your hands. It is light and easy at low speeds, which makes parking in tight grocery store spaces an absolute breeze. But when you get up to highway speeds, the steering firms up just enough to give you a good sense of control and stability. The suspension is tuned beautifully for everyday comfort. It soaks up bumps, potholes, and rough pavement without sending any harsh jolts into the cabin. It feels solid and composed, like a much heavier, more expensive luxury car. Yet because the heavy battery is mounted low in the floor, the car stays remarkably flat when you go around corners. It is not a sports car, but it feels safe, predictable, and surprisingly nimble for its size. It is the kind of car that lowers your heart rate after a long, stressful day at work. You just get in, put on your favorite music, and let the car do the hard work for you. I want to pause for a second and ask you a question directly. How many of you watching right now are still on the fence about switching to an electric vehicle? I know a lot of you might be worried about charging or battery life or just the overall cost of ownership. It is a big leap, and it's completely normal to have those concerns. But cars like the Qin L EV are designed specifically to make that transition as painless as possible. Living with this car day to day is incredibly easy. Because there's no engine oil to change, no spark plugs to replace, and no transmission to service, the running costs are a fraction of what you would pay for a traditional gas car. You wake up every morning with a full tank of electricity if you charge at home, and the car just works. BYD has a strong track record for reliability, and their battery warranty is one of the best in the business, which gives you fantastic peace of mind. The reality of owning this car is that it gives you back your time and your money. It is a practical, sensible choice wrapped up in a very stylish package. It is built for the real world, for real families, and for real daily commutes. Of course, no car is absolutely perfect, and I promised you an honest review here on Crownline Reviews. There are a few trade-offs you should know about before you make a decision. First, while the central touchscreen is beautiful and responsive, almost all of the car's controls are buried inside it. If you want to adjust the climate control, turn on the heated seats, or change the driving mode, you have to take your eyes off the road and tap the screen. I really wish they had kept a few physical buttons for the most important everyday features. It is a small annoyance, but it is something you have to get used to. Second, while the ride is very comfortable, the brake pedal feel can be a little bit inconsistent. Because the car uses regenerative braking to put energy back into the battery when you slow down, the transition between the electric braking and the physical brakes can sometimes feel a little grabby at low speeds. It takes a few days of driving to really master smooth, imperceptible stops. But honestly, in the grand scheme of things, these are very minor complaints. When you look at the complete package, the stunning design, the incredible range, the comfortable interior, and the overall value, it is hard to find a better deal in the electric vehicle market right now. So who is the 2026 BYD Qin L EV actually for? It is for the smart buyer. It is for the person who wants the sleek looks, the quiet ride, and the advanced technology of a premium electric sedan, but who refuses to pay a massive premium badge tax. If you want a car that makes your daily commute relaxing, saves you money at the pump, and looks fantastic sitting in your driveway, this car deserves to be at the very top of your test drive list. However, if you're looking for a thrilling, corner-carving sports sedan that will get your adrenaline pumping on a mountain road, you might want to look elsewhere. This car is all about smooth, effortless, and efficient progress. It is a testament to how far the automotive industry has come in such a short amount of time. BYD has created something truly special here, a car that bridges the gap between the futuristic concepts we were promised and the practical reality we live in today. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss an upload. This has been Crownline Reviews, reminding you that the best drive of your life is always the next one. I will see you in the next video.